Well, hello and welcome and hello and thank you for joining me on another exciting edition of Un Poco Mas, a very special edition. It's range anxiety, strange anxiety, ST range anxiety, whatever you want to call it, guys. We're talking NIO. Ticker symbol is NIO. As you know from my previous horrible videos, NIO had earnings pre-market. It was pretty bleak, if you believe in that sort of thing. Basically, they didn't deliver that many cars in Q1. If you can read a calendar, Q2 is almost over, and Q2 is looking up a lot. Everybody knew Q1 was going to be weak. We already knew these delivery numbers for 2.5 months, so there's really no surprises there. That there was some sort of silver linings playbook, if you believe in sort of a awkward Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence romance with your stock analysis, but basically on the day, the stock got hit pretty hard. It's all the way down to $4.74. They weren't content to trigger the stop losses at five. Obviously, previous close was at $5.27, so they took it all the way down to hit you guys who were stupid enough to set your stop losses at 475. And then, of course, the algo was just working so hard all day on volume of 83 million shares. You see the volume indicators, the candles here down here at the bottom, they're just absolutely flat. I don't think those are actually called candles. They're just bars or lines or whatever the fuck you want to call them. But the algo just locked on. Everybody knew what this ER was going to be. There was no mystery in it. So this thing was just preloaded, basically to hit the stock and then accumulate. Came back sort of nicely, came all the way back up and regained $5. So it's not the bloodbath I think people were expecting. I think I said the stock was going to get hit for about 10%, and basically that's as low as it went. I bought down there at the lows. Picked up a few shares, maybe a few thousand shares. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This certainly is not financial advice. But there was just a lot to like in not necessarily the ER, but the comments and what's going on in Q2. Remember, Q2 is almost over. These guys report late. So let's just go over a couple of things. Okay, 83 million shares on the day. The stock was really shorted today to the tune of, let's see, 3.3 million shares. In terms of the live short interest, spiked all the way up to about 5 million, came back down. They borrowed a lot yesterday also. So the short has been increasing. I'm not saying the short accounted for everything today. Obviously, there were people, panicking, people stop loss. This made no sense to panic if you know anything, but there's a ton of retail in the stock, and, retail are, a bunch of fucking morons for the most part, bunch of donkey brain hamsters on crack. I have a certification from a Philadelphia-based psychiatric hospital saying I definitively do not have donkey brains. Me and Frank Reynolds are the only two people to have such a document. But if you look today, today's the 6th, guys. Today's Thursday the 6th. They were shorting the stock quite aggressively, 63%. Yesterday, only 50%, and then 40s and even 30s going back before that. So they don't usually hit NIO that hard with over 63% on that short volume, but they sure did today. This doesn't really make sense logically, because if you're an institutional investor who's, those are who short stocks, most retarders just are not shorting stocks. Statistics bear that. And a lot of us say, oh, I'm going to short it. I'm going to short it. We don't even know how to find our weighing, much less short a stock. You turds don't have margin accounts. You turds don't know how to. Of course, you can always buy a put or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, institutions were shorting this, and I don't think they were doing it for, I don't think they were doing it for honest reasons. I think it was disingenuous. They were just hitting the stock because they knew this was coming. Absolutely no institutional investor analysis were, negatively surprised by this ER. They already knew what the revenues were going to be. They were pleasantly surprised by the margins. So let's talk about it just a little bit. EV maker partners with Melexis for advanced sensor technology. This isn't really about the ER, but this is a Dutch company. They're very cutting edge, so they're going to have these sensors in all their electric motors. NIO is really right on the cutting edge with this stuff. So take a look at Yahoo or whatever you want for the earnings call transcript. But William Lee, founder, chairman, chief executive, they're talking about in April 15,600 deliveries, in May 20,500. So just in the first 2 months of Q2, they've exceeded Q1 deliveries by over 50% already. So increasing their share in the premium BEV segment. Total deliveries in Q2 expected to be between 54 and 56,000 units, implying only about 18,000 deliveries this month, which a lot of people were hoping they would, see sustained growth. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if they do go ahead and hit 20,000. They have a lot of, they have their fingers in a lot of pies, so to speak, a lot of balls in the air, so to speak. They're just juggling a lot of balls. But I forget what I was talking about. I started thinking about juggling balls. I don't know. Anyway, guys, it's been a really long day. I actually used to be able to juggle 4 balls pretty good. Now I can only do 3, but it's not what you think. It's actual clown stuff. A lot of you guys know me as your chunky stock monkey. Guys, if you don't have a fat, middle-aged white guy in your corner, you're going to need one. What if you do something stupid and somebody has to talk to the police? You need a level-headed, fat, middle-aged white guy in your circle of friends. Well, now you got one, folks. It's Danny Deals, your old buddy, coming at you with another episode of Un Poco Mas. It's DJ Patchy Drizzle on the wheels of steels, the ones and twos, bringing you a nice even keel elevator music that's not going to get the party started, but it's going to end the party real quick and get you home at a reasonable hour. That's what DJ Patchy Drizzle is all about. We do birthday parties if you're over the age of 75. We do wedding anniversaries as long as it's at least your 60th anniversary. Call DJ Patchy Drizzle. Email me, fattennisninja@hotmail.com. Fat Tennis Ninja. Let's see. That wasn't my Michael Buffer, Jeff. Let's get ready to get ready. I don't really do a Michael Buffer, but I prefer his brother Bruce Buffer. But God, those guys made so much. That fucking guy made like $200 million licensing Let's Get Ready or something. It's crazy how much money people make doing stuff. The Pet Rock guy, he made $1 million. It's like, I feel lucky. Like Tom Spinkowski in a full body cast. I feel lucky today, much like Tom Spinkowski when he got run over by a truck after trying to kill himself with carbon monoxide. Guys, welcome and hello. Emilio's here. Hello and welcome. Alberto, our able moderator, is here. Welcome and hello, Alberto. Not a Lurker is always here, both our moderator and producer extraordinaire. Thank you for joining us, J Money. Redoubt is here. Q2 dead, Q3 FOMO, Q4 Onvo. I kind of disagree. I think Q2 is looking quite good. I think it's going to be a reversal. I think deliveries could be pushing 60,000. You need to see Onvo, and they also just announced that the Firefly sub-brand is not going to launch in EU. It's going to launch in China. This is going to give NIO absolutely the best product lineup of any, passenger car pure EV play in the world. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Tesla, even BYD, any of these other companies, certainly Rivian, Lucid, any of these ridiculous companies that are on their way to a swift bankruptcy, unless the Saudis keep pumping money or Amazon keeps pumping money. But NIO's legit. I mean, they're actually legit. They're completely unique in many, many ways. So, going on with what William Lee said, vehicle margin 9.2% is actually an improvement in the utilization of the charging and swapping facility on the profitability. So they're talking about, delivery of the executive edition of the ET7 to the business community, premium model, especially ICE models, competing with the 5 Series A6. These are extremely high margin vehicles. They're also starting to push urban NOP to all end users. That's their automated driving assistance, making the largest release of cars accessible by more than 260,000 users and over 1.4 million kilometers of highway and urban street driving in 726 cities in China. That's like their mapping, I don't know, the areas that you can use the driving assistance NOP. I forget what it stands for. But on autopilot or something. During Labor Day holiday, 48% of the total mileage driven by NOP, making your journeys more safe and relaxing. Since day one, NIO has developed car brand roadmap, resulting in premium segment, build up skills and experience introducing mass market brand. So that's been their their business model. They're building the charging infrastructure. They're building the swap infrastructure. They start in that mid-premium segment, which is very, very popular with sort of the affluent Chinese consumer. And I think they really hit the bullseye. And I think this Onvo thing, bringing out a more affordable version and a more capable version of the Tesla Model Y, I think it's a very good strategy. Obviously, that's some very stiff competition. The Tesla Model Y, one of the, best-selling sort of semi-luxury vehicles I know in the United States. I think it also sells very well in Europe, also in China. So it's just a really good vehicle, really good engineering. And Tesla doesn't make all these different models. They really focus in on one platform, and they really have that thing dialed in. And Tesla right now represents a very, very strong value proposition, very stiff competition for NIO in sort of that upper mid-market. But I think if they're able to compete favorably on price and introduce their unique selling points, I think they're going to do very, very well with the Onvo sub-brand with the Chinese consumer. So he's talking about that. They're talking about their sales network, 154 NIO houses, 388 NIO bases, 344 service centers, 64 delivery centers, 2,500 swap stations, 45 million swaps, 22,000 charging destination chargers. So they partnered with Shengan, I'm sorry if I mispronounce these, Geely, JAC, Cherry, Lotus, GAC, and Fa. And these are some of the biggest state-owned automakers in China. So this is not at all insignificant. And he's talking about the swap. Basically, the economics of this are very, very strong. Somebody was telling me in the comments, hey, swap's a big money loser. What the hell are you talking about? I'm like, he's saying they only need 60 swaps per day to make money on battery swap. And they're doing about 30 already. So think about it. They only have 500,000 vehicles. They have about 2,500 battery swap stations. So it just doesn't work because they have about only 200 vehicles per battery swap station. Is that right? 2,500, 25,000, 200. Yeah, so 200 vehicles per battery swap station. They swap on average once a week. So there's the 30 swaps. You divide the 200 by the 7, you got approximately 30 swaps. Now think about it. That's just with NIO. That's just with what they've sold so far, 500,000 cars. Like this month, last month they made 20,000 cars, 20 more thousand. Okay, they have Onvo coming in. They're going to start out making at least 10,000 units a month on that. We could, by the end of the year, we could easily be at a run rate with Onvo and NIO of, 40,000 cars a month. So just next year, they could double the amount of NIOs and Onvos on the road. And that's not even talking about the fact that they're getting investment for NIO Power. And they have all these giant partners to develop battery swaps. So think about when these, all these companies and all the other companies are going to sign on are using the NIO battery swap network. And it's going to go from 30 swaps a day past that 60 swaps a day that they need to break even, 90 swap, more and more and more swaps. And as these, they bring new generations of their battery swap stations online, they can hold more batteries, they can hold larger batteries, they charge more for the, semi-solid state, 150 kilowatt long range mofo. They just dropped in. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. I don't think I have any tap water. Oh, that's most unfortunate. But anyway, knock it down to 3. I want to flip some hype. Thanks, Ross. Well, we'll see. Jeff Presley, hello, turds. Bought the NIO dip. Smart move there, Jeff, in my opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, what I think. If you follow me, you're stupid. But don't follow me. I'm just trying to give you some ideas, give you some thoughts. Use your own brain. Think for yourself. That's a good policy in anything you do in life. Another live from Moon Poco Moss. Can you believe it, Andrew Troy? Wake up the children. Get the tap the keg. It's a party. Alberto Nola, Jeffrey, what's going on, guys? M. Russo, did I hear someone say buy SoFi, buy SoFi, buy SoFi? Not financial advice, guys. Buy SoFi. If you can read my wristband for the cure is send me $5 and I will do absolutely nothing but buy more shares of SoFi. And I will hold those shares and I will not let anybody borrow them. Big tickets to the moon. I'm trying, Michael Pugsley. I'm trying, buddy. Read out. U.S. sentiment still hasn't turned. Yeah, I agree, but it's just, sales don't need U.S. sentiment. The Chinese money is real money. RMB converts to dollars. It's all money. It's a global economy. Whimpering puppy. It was whispering puppy. Come on, Nautilurker. You're throwing me under the bus there. Just because you have the most symmetrical shaved head on earth doesn't mean you can cast aspersions on whispering puppy. Whispering puppy, much like DJ Patchy Drizzle, he comes in with a whimper, and he leaves with a great degree of ambiguity. Hey, did it rain? Did it not rain? I don't really know. Things are a little bit wet. Was it a light fog? Was it a light rain? I really don't know. The kids have soccer practice later. Oh, fuck me. UiPath, I want money back. Steve in the Mountains, yellow and welcome. Hello and welcome. Claremont suspension is key. Clear motion suspension. You think the suspension is the key? I don't think that's really the key at all. I think battery swap's the key. Affordability is the key. Chips. Yeah, like I said, you guys, I didn't even have time to do a whiteboard today because I'm such a turd. But in any case, this is what I wanted to talk about. Hold on, guys. I gotta take a quick break, and I will be right back with you. Sorry about that, guys. Had the boss on the phone there. Gotta get home and do a few things. But anyway, I wanted to talk about just a few of these things. Nobody else, I think, has this stuff. We talked about Mobileye, NIO working with them since I think it was 2016. Swap growth, we talked about the economics of that when they bring on 6 other brands, are bringing on new nameplates all the time to the development of Swap. When you think about where this is going, hey mom, NIO, by the way, NIO owns the infrastructure. NIO owns all the gas stations now. So the concept is proven. Elon, unfortunately for us Tesla people, I think was wrong. I'm not saying Tesla should have gone the Swap direction. Tesla wanted to grow. It wasn't for them, and the supercharger network is a great USP for Tesla. So, I know Elon visited, William Lee, and I think, I think it's a match made in heaven because Tesla is so far ahead of anyone else on artificial intelligence, full self-driving autonomy. If you combine autonomy with Swap, I think that's where the magic happens. But NIO, in their own right, has the autonomy, got the license to test that from the Chinese government, just like Tesla did. They're making their own chips. They're making their own phones. Or not making their own phones. They have their own branded phones. Onvo, Firefly, both these brands, going to give them the most complete lineup. They're, working on their own batteries, working on their own designs. I know they're buying them now, but also working on their own storage, working on NIO Taxi. The lead is just too great in Swap, I think, in China for anyone else to catch them. But anywhere else, the engineering, the development, the implementation, they're already putting the network into the EU. They already have 30 swap stations there. They have a factory in Hungary to build the swap stations. So they're going to take the lead there. There's just no competition for them, and they're going to own this swap. This thing's going to become standardized. Then it's become mandated, and then we're all just on a gravy train with biscuit wheels, folks. This thing is just too important, I think, in China, and it's going to become too big to fail. There's going to be too many brands buying into it. NIO's going to own the standard. They're going to license this. They're just going to have this mailbox money just rolling in absolutely constantly. We see, again, the stock shorted today. Just giving you my technical analysis for dummies. I'm showing you basically 2 channels that'll basically kind of have existed almost the last year, since last August. So you see this channel here in the lighter blue. Obviously, you can tell where the support is, but it's been pushing down off this line consistently, all these red arrows like 20 times. And that's somewhat, if you take a look, that's really been fairly consistent with the 50-day moving average. It's really, broke out a little bit here right at New Year's. But other than that, it's really been stuck under the 50-day moving average in this downward sloping blue line. And then you see right here this purple arrow, this giant candle on May 1st or whatever that is, May 2nd. You see the stock break out. And then if you notice, the stock has not broken out and then sustained any type of support after that. Anytime it breaks out, it just falls back down sharply. Breaks out a little bit, falls back down sharply. Any of these mini breakouts falls back down sharply. Here, we have a different story. The stock breaks out, actually pushes up above the 50-day moving average, and then you see it finding support right here, bouncing off the 50-day moving average once, twice, and now 3 times if it recovers from here. So this is an extremely critical day tomorrow. I'm just not afraid of this candle. I don't think this was, retail investors dumping the stock below 5, and this is a heavy retail stock. I think this was mechanics that pre-planned this dip with high frequency trading and price fixing and shorting, and it's just the same old story. So there's absolutely no reason to panic on the back of this. You see, anybody who re-rated the stock, Citibank, Jeff Chung, they lowered their price target, but still a buy at 850, represents 73% upside. Morgan Fudley, they had a $10 price target and a buy on the stock. They reiterated yesterday, so 104% upside on the stock. Even some of the bears like Bank of America, still 20% upside on the stock. JP Morgan, they absolutely hate this stock now. They used to be bullish on the stock. They still have 10% upside. Goldman sucks. They have downside on the stock, but I'd bet my, left testicle that they're shorting the stock. Goldman, they're always short long, they're always short, they're always making money in down and up markets. That's why, they just had so much goddamn profit on their last ER, because it's like Sean Connery said, you're playing bullshit. Anyway. Hello and welcome and hello, guys. It's Un Poco Moss. It's the, you've heard of the average white man. Well, it's your average white Dan. Your buddy, your chunky stock monkey, your guy with all the news, all the information, DJ Patchy Drizzle, spinning the racks and stacks and the best on wax, the best of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. For your listening pleasure, guys, it's Un Poco Moss. They are building an ecosystem. Yeah, battery service Joule. We're talking about so much recurring revenue. The NIO is just an incredible car. It's incredible engineering. They're leading in so many areas. GME is almost at 60. Are you freaking kidding me? GME went that crazy today. Battery, yeah, it makes batteries last their longest. They're always conditioning them. They're always lasting as long as possible. Who's this Redoubt character with the spiky-headed young avatar? We got to get this guy on. He's a big Neo bull. I like it. We got Jeff Presley here. My dad had a Pinto. My dad had a blue Pinto. It caught on. I remember it catching on fire at one point. But my dad had all kinds of crazy cars. My dad had Opals and many VWs, just tons and tons of cars. Probably about 90% of them caught on fire at one point or another, but it kept us on our toes, kept things exciting. It's kind of dangerous for the fat kids, of which I was the only one amongst my many siblings, and so I was often the last guy out of that burning car, but somehow I always got out. They pulled me out and got me a snack before my blood sugar fell too low. What's up, Jay Gatsby? Not much, buddy. Just up to my ideal blood pressure if I was 11. No, what did Norm say? Like, what are you up to, Norm? Is my ideal body weight if I were 11 feet tall. Some of those George Wendt jokes on Cheers. Hilarious. Not as good as John Ratzenberger or whatever the his name was. Who are 3 people who have never been in my kitchen? Anyway, let's go, Nautilurk. I couldn't agree with you more. Don't report GME numbers. I want to be surprised. Yeah, man, they're shocking. I don't know what's more shocking, that or the just continued rise of NVIDIA through the roof. Great, it's me, Chuck U. Farley. There you go. I've been to Chuck U. I went there. It's a barbecue university. They teach you how to smoke meat. Chuck U. Farley's the graduate program where you go farther. It's Chuck U and then Chuck U Farley. That's their, I don't know. That's not a good bit. Firefly is no longer being released in Europe. Yeah, I mean, those tariffs read out. It just doesn't make sense to put a ton of money right now into Europe with this much uncertainty. I think over time, Chinese EVs will proliferate. North America, Europe, free trade will prevail, but it has to shake out. It's just a big dick measuring contest between these countries. But it is a fair point that Chinese are giving a lot of subsidies to, EV, but America gave a lot of subsidies to Tesla too. I mean, solar, different stuff. So China's not the only one that props up these critical industries, and they're trying to drive it forward. Helps them environmentally, helps them economically. So, Yeah, faster charge time doesn't help degradation. I think it helps degradation in the sense that the batteries are always being conditioned, charged properly. A lot of people don't do the maintenance properly, but I don't really know, Jeff. I'm no electrical engineer. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn last night. Not even a Holiday Inn Express. Not even an Express where you don't even the continental breakfast is like a stale raisin roll. It's not a Danish. It's not a donut. It's not sweet. It's some kind of roll with raisins. What the fuck? That's not breakfast. Give me a green banana. You're not even a ripe piece of fruit. Give me a decent cup of coffee. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, guys, that'll bring manufacturing costs down for everyone. Good, good. What's up, Katie Wentworth? What's up, Billy Jack? Southern Border Guardian here in Arkansas, trying to fight these short bastards the end of week above 7. Good man, Billy Jack. I like the way you fold that bill cap there. Tells me you're a man who knows how to shoot a duck or two. They own 900, yeah, tons and tons of patents, tons of subsidiaries, millions of partners. Let's go preach it. I'm trying. Not a lurker's laughing. What's up, Lorraine? How you doing? Smooth 70s sound of Danny. Oh, it's Rack Stacks best on wax. Danny coming at you. Best 70. 4% of my portfolio. SoFi 60%. Yeah, I have a much larger position on SoFi. I wouldn't make anything 60% of your portfolio. I would strongly urge you to not make any single stock probably more than 10-15% of your portfolio. 20% if you're extremely bullish, but I know Billy Jack knows what he's doing, so I'm going to let Billy Jack run on that one. It's Daniel Davis. They shut down my brokerage. Yeah, I guess they were halting everything today, guys. It was getting completely out of hand. Probably Seth Rogen was doing a dry jerk with his tears. Bought more NIO this morning, like the dip. I was buying right with you, Maria Powell. Bought right at the lows. Good on you, Maria. I like the way you think. Brilliant minds, Maria. Brilliant minds. Mind meld. Ross, 30% growth account. Billy, we get there. Great Gatsby. Stella. Anyway, guys, I don't know. That's really all I had for NIO, but looking at this chart, again, you need to hold up above this line. Be nice to hold above the 50-day moving average. Key levels, if you listen to those morons on YouTube, us U-turders, is say, I'm going to give you some key levels. They're just completely arbitrary, meaningless, and absolute bullshit. But my key levels are 626, 702, and then we're going to break down $10. Just to be fair, I mean, listen, the run rate's 20,000 cars a month. We've got the sub-brand coming out. They own the swap network. They've got major partners. It's not just the car companies in China, but it's, they just recently, did a partnership where they're going to work on batteries with CATL. They have tons and tons of partners for all sorts of things. Sinopec, BP, so, European oil giants, Chinese oil giants, they all want to partner on this swap because they see it. Because they are going to own the gas stations. It's like little kids going to be driving by and going, oh, hey, Mom, what do you know? NIO owns all the gas stations in the world. They're, making tons of mailbox money. We're rich as hell, Mom, because we bought them NIO shares. Like, put your seatbelt on, Billy. Anyway, so I don't know why Billy's investing in so much NIO as a young child in the United States. But, hey, kids these days, right? They have smartphones, are connected to everything. But this thing is just a juggernaut. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how people can't see that this is very unique and that battery swap is going to be very important. It's very important for the power grid, energy storage, all sorts of things. So, I think right now this thing is just too cheap. I mean, for the market cap of Tesla, you get 50 NIOs. And I understand that Tesla is a lot further along. They're making profit. They have scale. But, I mean, NIO's at that growth point. They're at that inflection point where Tesla was when the Model 3 came out and you couldn't give away the stock. This stock went from nothing to 60 back to 3. It made the round trip. The run to 60 was irrational, and I think the run down to 3s and 4s was kind of justified because things were looking very bleak there. Their margins fell apart, their deliveries fell apart, their schedule fell apart just a little bit. But I really think management woke up and got the message. It says if you want to compete, if you want to play, you have to get this thing together now. You have to innovate now. You have to get these sub-brands out and get people buying now, because the swap thing only makes sense if you scale. You can't have only 200 vehicles per swap station. It limits you to 30 swaps a day. You need to be doing 100 swaps a day, 120 swaps a day. They're going to build bigger swap stations. It's going to happen, guys. NIO's going to be a player. I like William Lee. Very, very intelligent car guy. They're building an all-star team. They have the right partners. They have the right business model. They can sell an EV a lot cheaper, and it decouples the battery from the car itself. It just makes so much sense, guys. This makes so much sense. Like the market does, just completely overreacted to news that was already completely known, and I think this ER was actually a little bit better than people expected. I told you yesterday exactly how this was going to play out, and they're going to accumulate. It's going to be back at 550, I think, before you know it. I think it's going to pass 626. I think it's going to pass 702, and I think we're going to be knocking on the door at $10 before you know it. Guys, it's Un Poco Moss, it's Danny Deals, it's DJ Patchy Drizzle, it's Stock Karen, it's the average White Dan, it is, I don't know who else I am, Hurricane Lopez, I don't know. I can't remember, guys. I got to go home and get something to eat before I lose my mind. Fuck it, Billy Jack's buying more NIO right now. I believe will have resale value. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they decouple the batteries, resale value is a huge thing. And then they can take the batteries out and recycle. You need a new Tesla battery. You see this everywhere on NIO. It's 20 grand, 22 grand. Like, it just makes the used vehicle worthless at a point. And just doesn't make any sense because there's nothing wrong with the vehicle. It's just, just doesn't make sense to pay someone to, do that battery swap when you can go to a NIO battery swap station and do it in 3 minutes for a few dollars. Just, you tell me, guys, does this make sense or does this make sense? Thanks for watching. Peace. I'm out of here.